Okay, here we go. I'm in a different place than I usually am because I'm painting something for somebody. So I'm on the kitchen table. So this is where it's gonna be today. So thank you for trusting me to do this, number one. And we'll just work with light and love. So before I read the cards, I just did a little tapping into your field, and so it comes through like a story because when I close my eyes to see what's happening in your field right now, it all kind of comes through symbolically in images that resonate to create a story for me. So what I saw was basically I started running grounding cords through my body, and then it starts taking off into your field. And basically what happens is as we went through the earth, I saw these kind of big balloons, and the first one was red, which didn't surprise me because that's usually how I connect with the center of the earth. But then it kept going, and you were riding down the center of the earth, this channel into the center of the earth, and this illuminated red globe was there. But kind of, anyways. And so as that one passed by, then there was an orange, yellow, and so I knew we were looking at the chakra column. And so I'm waiting for you to attach to one of these, or have a connection to one of these, and it kept going, green, blue, purple, and I'm still waiting, thinking there's going to be some connection so I can see what's going on or see where we're going to be reading the fields from. And then there's purple and pink, and then basically that keeps going, and you keep sliding down, now just this black chamber, and until you almost fall into what looks like a bottom of a cell. And so instantly I get this disconnect from any kind of spiritual fulfillment, right? Chakras to me are the spiritual, or the column, the channel for connecting to our purpose, our divinity, our spiritual self. And so as you fall off the pink one, or as you can't grab onto the pink one, and you fall down into then what looks like just a little bit of light streaming in on you in this kind of black cavern, I see you like huddled over, and it's almost like this sadness and this kind of not desperation, that's the wrong word. It's an overwhelming feeling of sadness. And so in this, I get that there has been a loss in the connection to what motivates you, the passion. It feels like you're disconnected from a path, right? Because when the chakra columns, when we are connected to that, able to connect to that, we feel like there's purpose, direction, guidance. And so this process of what they showed me, it feels like there's this overwhelming feeling of sadness, disconnect, confusion, which maybe isn't the right word for this, but like loss of self, and it felt, if depression's such a hard word, but fear would be a good word, but it's not depression, it's not fear, it's like these little bits, fragments of these things, because you're alone in this area where there's no connection to something that feels right or guided or purposeful, right? So that's kind of what they showed me in starting. So this is, I feel like what's gonna come up for the energy of the reading. So as we start out here, this is root chakra. So this is gonna read your field. So here it comes up, introverted, hypo, throat chakra. So what this means, root chakra is all about your foundation, what's giving you stability. This is the entire platform from which your entire field grows from and can be moving from. And so what we look at here is what's supporting you right now, and what it's saying is you've pulled back. So anytime we talk hyper or hypo chakras, we're talking about not being in complete balance and alignment to our authentic core. And so what it's saying is hypo is a pullback, it's a less than. And it's all about speaking your truth, right? Introverted. Right now, there is this instability in what you've created. There's this fear in what you've created. Think of the person I saw at the bottom of that dark, kind of lonely, dark cell type thing, right? And so what they're saying here is because there's a disempowerment of using your voice. You're not speaking your truth. You're not speaking up for yourself. You're not claiming, which is kind of counterintuitive, because the only thing I know about you and what kind of triggered this reading is the divorce. And so that in itself is empowering yourself to find your voice, right? And to speak your truth and to establish that saying it, speaking it to the person, the partner, created, right, this ability to, it's such empowerment to be able to speak that truth with your voice at that moment in time and create the energy of separation or whatever for the divorce, right? Yet what this is saying is right now in what's happening and the whole picture I painted before I started flipping these cards, your foundation right now, they're saying you're pulling back from speaking the truth. So this could be with kids, this could be with friends, this could be with the person that you recently divorced from. This could, it's anybody, but right now your foundation, they're saying you don't have this. So the picture I described earlier, right? There's this disconnect from the path. There's something dark, right? There's something lonely, dark, scary, possibly, about that you feel disconnected from this authentic truth of yourself and your purpose, right? So you have the empowerment to speak your truth, to create the separation, but now after that's been done, right, we hope that energy continues, yet something is still unsettling about your field and what you've created. And so right now in the foundation, they're saying, you've pulled back from speaking your truth. What is it? And we're going to read the whole story here, but this is super important to know that so this would be a key in how to switch out of this energy or this experience. And number one, let's just state that every experience is divine, right? It's our perspective over what's happening that leads us to think that there's something wrong or negative, or that we're that we're not as connected. Yet divine would come in and say you are always in the most divine perfection and harmony, but sometimes in those moments of darkness or loss or fear, we think that we're not as connected or aligned, or we attribute these belief systems of negativity to that, when divine would say in those moments you're just as perfect and divine as in any other moment. But it's the perspective, you're allowing your frequency to lower to get into a vibration that tells you that there's something wrong or scary about this, and it's not. But so just I want to lay that groundwork. But all these things are going to be telling you how to raise that frequency, how to tune up to that vibration that you know and trust and feel like your original self and your authentic self, and that person who we all know and presents herself as this like vivacious zest for life, right? And to have that not only be presented but be at what's guiding your core. And so right now what they're saying is that in this foundation that you're creating right now, there's a part of you that is pulling back from speaking your truth in every single situation. Our voice is one of our most powerful manifestation tools. And so in every moment that you're given an opportunity to speak your truth, you need to speak your truth. Sometimes we try and protect the people that surround us, or we try to protect the people, our friends, from having to be burdened with what's going on in our internal world. Or we try and protect the person that we just split from because we think they're a psychopath that might use those words against us, and we try and step on eggshells around them. Whatever this is, right? Kids, family, friends, everything. It's you cannot lessen. You have chosen a path right now. You chose your authentic self. You chose to make a move in this world that created a new timeline for you, a whole new life for you, a whole new version of this person that you're creating, and the Donna that you've created, and you have chosen to create this new path, this new experience in life. And if you start that path, the foundation here, by not claiming and speaking your authentic truth because you're trying to protect your kids from hearing something, or you're trying to protect the friends from not having to hold some of your woes or burdens, or you're trying to protect your friends and coworkers from, feeling the energy in which you're you're feeling inside. If you're holding all these things and not speaking your authentic truth, you're gonna have more belief systems, constructs, lessons, things that you're gonna have to then shed to live this vivacious, amazing personality that we all know you to be, right? So that is your foundation. So the next, your relationships. So this would be complete validation. So this is sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is all about our relationships, our passion, our creativity, and it's relationships one-on-one. So it can be you and a really good friend, it could be you and a child, but typically it's you and a partner in life. And so it's so interesting that I would say, if you had any questions about did I do the right thing, did this big life change that I just made, if you question that at all, this comes through with the balanced heart chakra card. This is the heart chakra card, and it's coming through in your relationship sector. So I'd have to say you probably have some sleepless nights where you question, was this for the greatest good, or whatever it might be, or you maybe move into guilt. Guilt would be the one, right? So if you feel guilty for taking something away from your kids, or could I have just done this a little bit longer, or whatever that is, that guilt, because heart chakra is all about guilt. It is saying you are in complete balance and harmony, and do not question the decision that you have made. This is showing a complete balanced energy field within the sacral chakra, your relationship sector, and it's coming through with heart chakra energy, which is in harmony and balance. I mean, there's no other deeper loving vibration than what you've created here. So do not question and do not move into guilt. Do not let people move you into guilt. Trust, and sacral chakra is all about trust. And so too, here's the thing. Because of the foundation, this is probably why you're getting triggered into guilt and distrust, because your foundation here, your authentic truth, you're not allowing people to know the full totality. And we try and protect the people around us so much with our voice and our words, and we try and swallow our true thoughts and hold words back from people, swallowing it inside of us, taking that inside of us, so that other people don't have to deal with the same energetic vibrations that we think we're strong enough to deal with, and protect other people from it. And that is the wrong way, and I never tell people they're wrong. But when you're swallowing words, it will just lead to more confusion and more guilt and these other shadow sides of these chakras. And so we'll continue with the story here, but the biggest thing for you right now, your foundation is a hypospin of the throat chakra. We want your foundation to support you completely in this new path that you've created. And right now it's coming in saying everything you've done is in perfect balance, alignment, harmony to your path. So do not question it. Now let's get your foundation clear by speaking your truth and not holding words back from people because you're trying to project for them or have expectations over, over their lives, right? We so much try and protect the people around us from feeling, being, experiencing whatever we are, and yet it's coming through saying you must speak your truth, so that this path you have chosen to co-create with divine universe is clear, aligned, and vivacious is the word I keep getting for you. I've never used that word Okay, so the next one, this is your authentic self. And so here, the authentic self, this is yourself, your mind, in alignment, creating right, the balanced sacral chakra here is all about transformation. And so here, your authentic self, if I could stand you in front of a mirror and tell you exactly who you are in this line of energy, basically this is talking about your mind aligning to the present moment, and there's so many signs around you right now. So again, I'm going to come back to here, and what you're getting is this balance. It's telling you, so let's go back to the original symbolic images I was getting about, what's my path, what's my purpose, I'm feeling maybe out of alignment, I'm feeling maybe blocked from, right? So when you make the choice to get a divorce, everything is so clear. And then once you get the divorce, it's like, holy crap, what did I just do? And you start questioning everything. Who am I? Because you've shed a complete, we have multidimensional versions of ourselves operating in this one life, right? And you literally said, Donna, of this timeline, you are no longer existing. And what you've done is stepped into a completely new energy. And in this new energy, we don't take a lot of the things that Donna of the old timeline had. And so when we do this energetically and we make these timeline jumps like you have, creating this new path, this new life, a lot of times we question our authenticity. Who we were when we made that decision to get the divorce is now basically completely gone. And although you're resonant with everything she did, it's almost like you are a baby learning and figuring out the world again. You're starting from the beginning. And so a lot of times, now we're in solar plexus chakra, which is all about your authentic self. So a lot of times we question, am I making the right moves daily? Am I doing the right thing? Is this the appropriate time of spending my energy? Is this, our mind just gets so filled. Our mental field is like constantly running through. Anxiety, stress are things I would label in this situation right now, because it's like now you are a single individual making every choice, and every choice then becomes this plethora of things in your field that are that can become extremely burdensome, right? And you start questioning so much of these things that you're making choices for. And so what this card comes through, it's all about being the witness, and it's saying there's so many signs around you right now, and this is all about synchronicities. This is like the complete synchronicity card. If you can become completely present, and this is the hard part, because the mental field likes to give us tasks, and the mental field likes to think of, I have to make so much money to support myself. I have to keep the kids in these certain things to allow them to have the same lifestyle. I have to work a certain amount of time to do this. I have to find new passions. I have to find new time to create new experiences that will lead to better enjoyment of this new timeline I'm creating, right? So there's all these things in your mental field, in your head, in your mind that are, it's like you could probably write lists and lists and lists before you go to bed of everything you're thinking about, right? And so what this is saying is, that's beautiful because that's human, but we need to find the balance. It can't be so left brain. And what it's telling you to do is become present in your space, in the world, ground yourself. And I do grounding tricks like, where's my tongue? Is my tongue in the roof of my mouth? When you're doing a massage, is my tongue in the roof of my mouth? If it's in the roof of my mouth, I'm thinking I have an active brain. Is my tongue relaxed behind my bottom teeth? If it's relaxed on the bottom of the mouth, I'm relaxed. I'm in my right brain. I'm allowing things to come into my left brain, and I'm not attaching to it, and I'm letting it to flow, right? And there's other things, just being able to count. Am I breathing 5 seconds inhales and like 4-second exhales? Or am I doing these quick chest breaths? Because that's another sign that we're in our left brain, our thinking brain. In the car, am I present? Am I seeing what's around me? Or am I in my left brain creating more lists? At bed, same thing. Am I in my left brain? Am I cognitive? Is my tongue in the roof of my mouth? So there's tricks that you can do to see, am I too much in my mental field? Because what this card is coming in and saying is, for your authentic self right now, to be able to create this reality, to co-create this new reality in a way that is completely aligned and feels empowering to who you are and what you're creating, you have to be present, which is grounded, which is this breath. Am I really grounded day in and day out? Because when you're grounded day in and day out, things will flow through your left brain, but they will channel through you and they will express into the world that surrounds you through synchronicities, signs, connections, people coming into your life that then move you forward instead of keeping you stuck in this cognitive space of complete list after list after list. Instead of doing lists, these things will naturally present themselves for you in your everyday interactions, but you have to be present to it. Of course, things are going to come into your head. That's beautiful, but we need to be a grounded channel so those things can move through us and then express and manifest physically into the world around us so that we can engage with them and then have something actually begin to manifest through us and co-create this new path that you're walking on. So your heart chakra. So this is beautiful again. So because we got the heart chakra here in your sacral, I would attribute kind of the energy that comes through here as being a validation also of what you experienced with the relationship. And so this is the card, and the energy here is maturation. It's a maturing, which is so beautiful. It's about the willpower, the fire that made you do what you do, connecting to the community around you, and you having so much of this willpower, this drive to actually connect into the heart center and create energy that will not only affect you and the family surrounding you, but rings and rings of people around you. So the heart chakra card is also the bridge. It's the gateway between the physical, the human self, and then the spiritual experience. And so what it's telling me too is that because of this maturing of the heart center, you took all the willpower, all the energy you had, and aligned it to connect to your heart's truths, right? What you felt and know. You didn't maybe know, so the heart is all about, it's mental, but you don't really know what's going to happen, but you feel it so strong in this emotional center that we have to make a change, right? And because of that, you were able to collectively come together, and collectively people support you in this. And that's the thing I'm sure you see because you're very intuitive, but there are so many support circles surrounding you in this and aligning to you and gonna help you mature through this too. And so this whole energy of being able to be so aligned in this heart center that acts out of and trusting the rings of people around you, but the heart center that acts out of more feeling body instead of mental knowing body, being able to connect that feeling body, just what you felt so strongly, resonantly in your body, to then cultivate the willpower, the fire of your truth, and align those two things, have matured you so much and we're talking human. This is what leads you from this human existence that you were living, this very, I'm gonna clock in, clock out, kind of not be my true self, play a role, be a person. This, what you've done, this maturing is the bridge. It's the key that's unlocking the lock here that gets you into the purpose work, the spirit self, the high self, whatever you want to call it. So throat chakra. So again, so throat chakra, I go back down to where you have a hyper spin in a throat chakra, which is your foundation. And here what it's saying is throat chakra, and this is the energy of healing. And this is all about your one-on-one relationships, connecting to your heart center. So this is so resonant, and so there's so much to say here that I feel like I need to say just as little as possible. So the healing, so all the healing you are seeking for you, for the people connected to you, comes through using your voice. That's it in the simplest of terms. You will find your healing, you will heal your heart, you will heal the relationships by using your voice. And by using your voice in an authentic way. And again, it's not about knowing what you're saying. Sometimes we say things from a heart-centered way that are sharp, that can create pain. You know, your daughter might be having problems, and by her getting triggered, it might trigger you, and you might say something that later you go, oh my gosh, was that appropriate to say? But in that moment, by saying something that's heartfelt and you were triggered in the heart and you just said it, That even if you reflect on it and feel guilt, which is, it's telling you this is the things you experience, you probably are experiencing some guilt from all these things, to not get into that energy. Guilt energy is going to bring your vibration down. Know that everything you're being triggered for, as long as you speak authentically, which means as long as you're speaking your truth, do not mince your words, do not protect your words from being released. You do not swallow anything anymore. You speak your truth. By speaking your truth, you may hurt people. It may look like the people around you get hurt a little bit, but by speaking your truth, it's also going to affect the people around you. I'm going back to your daughter. It might affect the people around you. You know, they might instantly show some kind of pain or, oh my gosh, this isn't you. Who is this? You know, saying these things. But it will change their life for the better. And if you do not speak your authenticity, your truth, you will find that you're repeating patterns from this past timeline. And that's when you're going to go into guilt. And that's when you're going to slow down your vibration. And that's when you're going to start to feel the heaviness of the past timeline, the past situation that you so desperately left, right? So all of your healing, all the healing in your one-on-one relationships, again, daughter, friends, co-workers, ex, family, you know, you and somebody else, doesn't matter who it is, you and one other person, all of your healing comes through using your voice. And it's going to be speaking things in an authentic, heart-centered way. And as long as you feel it and it's truth to you, you cannot do any wrong. So third eye chakra, so the greater perspective here. So what they're coming through and saying is there is fear. And this is how I would explain what I saw in the very beginning. So the perspective, the greater perspective of this situation is a shadow side to the root chakra. And so what you did and the choice you made to leave and change timelines, leave an old Donna that you created behind and create this new person. What they're saying is they're at the base of what you did and at the base of what we're reading, there is fear. And however you're covering this up, you know, I can see you're holding your words. That's a cover up. You're getting super into your mental field, which when you're so high and in that mental field, it's hard to manifest anything physically in your physical world that gets you onto the next stepping stone that's going to, you know, keep getting you onto the next stepping stone and moving through the experience. And so the greater perspective here is that there is a shadow side element that we're dealing with. And so you can have a hyper spinning chakra, you can have a hypo spinning chakra, which is too fast, too slow, which one we're kind of playing a role, one we're not being our authentic self. And then there's the shadow side, and the shadow side is the hardest to admit because the shadow side is like a singular grain of sand in an entire beach. And so what we do as people is we've told ourselves we've created so many belief systems and different, and I want to say the word lies, but it's not as if you're lying to yourself, but it's just things that you've told yourself over and over so many times that it creates a story, it creates a karmic cycle, it creates a spin to a chakra that is inauthentic to your true being. And so what this is saying, the greater perspective of what you're dealing with right now in this field, what I saw at the beginning of this before I read the cards and saw you kind of alone, fearful in the bottom of the cell with no clear path out, right? Is that what you're dealing with right now is the shadow side to the chakra, shadow side to the root chakra. And the root chakra is all about your foundation. And so I would say you're probably, and let's use the word terrified, it feels right, which is usually an extreme, but it's like I am terrified and fear is all about moving forward. It's like you could even go into questions like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I sacrifice to create this that I've just created? And when you get into fear, Fear is the hardest. It is the the root cause for so much pain and stagnation and all of these things. But the fear coming in here, it's inhibiting you from moving forward. And to be in fear, and it's even physical fear of your life, and oh my God, I'm being threatened, and anything that's physical, fear-wise, that's triggering you to fear. I'm scared to even see this person, or I'm scared to even, do anything that is going to trigger something to happen. I'm fearful almost of my life, right? So anything that's happening in your external world where you're seeing fear, it's triggering you to heal that which is, it's that sand, it's that tiny grain of sand. So shadow side again is so hard, because as we start to realize why we're in fear, and this is when you can release this, and when you can get down to this tiny grain of sand that's triggering this, when you can do that, your perspective opens up, and that's when you can see clearly the path, the end of the path, the road, the purpose, the connection here. And so right now there's this inability to move forward because there's so much fear. And so how you start doing this is, anytime you get triggered by fear, you have to detach yourself from the emotionality of that. You have to detach yourself as quickly as you can. Sometimes it'll take you a few days to realize you've allowed yourself to be triggered in fear. Sometimes it's instant that you go, oh my God, I just got triggered by fear, and I'm feeling fearful, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling scared. And so anytime you get triggered by fear, what you need to do is instantly question it. Why is fear coming up in my field right now? And that detaches. It's not, why am I feeling fear? It's, why is there fear in my field? And by instantly doing that, you separate yourself from the emotion, you give yourself space. You're almost like, why is there fear in my field? And it's almost like you take that fear out of you and you hold it outside of you to review. And every time you do this, every time you make this statement to yourself, and you can pull it from here, inside, outside, you can look at it. So let's just say there was an actual physical threat on you, right? And you were terrified because you felt your life was in danger. So it's like, oh my God, why do I feel in danger? Okay, well, I'm scared. So you pull that out. Why is there fear in my field right now? Okay, so there's fear. So what's triggering me? Okay, this person is vicious and threatening me. And so okay, well, why am I allowing myself to get triggered by that? Do I not trust? Do I not trust that I can call the cops? Do I not trust that I am, do I not trust in my life right now that I'm meant to be here and I have a purpose? Do I not trust? What is it? And so you start riddling around. So why am I allowing this catalyst to trigger me into fear? And you start questioning it, and you take it deeper. Okay, well, there's some kind of trust issue. I don't trust this person. Okay, well, it's never about the other person. So how does this relate to me? Well, I guess I have trust issues in people, or, so you have to keep working this through until you can find the seed cause of why you keep getting triggered into fear. Because this, and I would have to assume it has something to do with speaking your truth, okay? Every time I claim my space and speak my truth, it's instant threat on my life or abuse or whatever it is. When I speak my truth, it triggers this, and then I'm in complete fear mode so let's work that through. It feels very, very aligned to you right now. So when you do this, oh, nope, they're taking it away. So I just got a whole download of what's going on, and then as soon as I tried to tell you, took it away. This is the work that you have to do to alleviate this perpetual cycle right now that I would believe you're probably spinning in. I speak my truth, and then it triggers this person around me, and there's a threat, or there's something that instantly triggers fear inside of me. and I basically can't move forward. And so that is it seems like that is a perpetual cycle that is inhibiting your ability to have a solid, steady base. And again, root chakra and fear is all about the inability to move forward. And when we're in fight or flight, when we're in fear, the goal is to simply make a choice, make a decision, get out of the situation, right? And that would be moving forward. But so many times fear debilitates us and does not allow us to move at all. It reverts us back into a pattern that says, I will never speak that again in that space, because I don't trust that I can get myself out of that, right? So there's this cycle that you need to, every time the fear's triggered, you need to start detaching from the energy of it when you realize you're in the energy of it, and start to review why you get thrown into this, because it's a pattern. This is a pattern that you're going through. And you don't want to bring that pattern from the past timeline into this new timeline that you're so beautifully co-creating. So the perspective, the crown chakra, so I knew this card was going to come up. So crown chakra, it's my Phoenix card. So this is all about your purpose, aligning to, again, that power, that drive that got you to this point. You have so much fire, so much passion, so much ability within your authentic self to cultivate the energy needed to attain and hit your high, to bring high self into the equation. This is the spiritual, I'd say this is the person who has got a fire light lit inside of them to like, it's triggered you to lead your most connected, divine, purpose-filled life. And it's the evolution card. It's all about the phoenix burning down and then rising back up from the ashes. And so this would be the outcome card. This is what's happening. This is what you're creating. It's this it's the pat on the back saying you're doing it. And yeah, it's taking everything you have to really continue this fire burning inside of you, to continue to align yourself to this high self, this divine path that you've chosen. It's taking everything you can, because the phoenix has to die to be rebirthed, basically, and that's the evolution. That is what you're going through, and it's a complete validation of everything you're going through. So I feel like I want to just do a message from your guides. Oh my God, yes. So you're manifesting this transformation. And again, the narrator card. So it's about telling your story and speaking your truth. It's about not only walking the walk, but talking the talk. And it's the narrator. It's the person who can tell their story. And telling the story is what also helps you evolve and find that transcendence and then transformation. So this is all about the butterfly, the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. So you just got like every transformation card, and it all has to do with, if you can continue to tell your story in an authentic, truthful way that is resonant to you, that's what's going to bring you into complete alignment, that you're the caterpillar that turns into the butterfly, which is all solar. This is the solar plexus card. It is your authentic truth. It's the human card. And then you've got the crown chakra card aligning to the human card, which is saying that by basically dissolving the timeline from which you were living, by burning and bringing a little death to that Donna, you're able to create this new energy that is so filled with with divine light and this alignment. So don't question it. Don't allow yourself to feel guilty for what you've done, because that was a trigger that could possibly come up. And anytime you find yourself moving into this fear state, allow yourself to gain perspective on the situation that's happening around you, because this would be the one thing that would keep you in the perpetual cycle of what you came from. And so if you can release the fear, if you can move forward with complete trust that I trust in life, I trust that this path is being divinely guided, and I trust in myself, If you can find trust, you will eliminate the fear cycle that you've been living in. And by doing that, you establish this foundation that basically achieves the evolution that you were, I think, striving for when you made the choice to start this whole new timeline for yourself. So thank you so much, with so much light and love.